All right, welcome to the 504 podcast. We're here at Casa de Kev with Mr. 407 himself, Kevin Deane.
What up?
Y'all know him?
Yep. At his actual Casa. It's really nice, Casa. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for coming through. I don't often get to do podcasts where y'all bring the equipment to me, so that's pretty dope.
Much appreciated. I walked in here. I was like, this is a nice place. This is some shit like Franz Wagner's living at.
Yeah, this is like straight off Seinfeld or Friends. Where it's like, well, how do people do this? Like, how do people live like this?
It's like a real. I live in a trailer, so anything was better than me. But that being said, this is like some Seinfeld ass sitcom-y bachelor pad.
Oh shit! Okay, cool.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to shit on you, nothing. I'm just I really like.
He's like, yo, I thought you were broke before I came here today. I thought you were poor people. I just assumed.
Yeah, I thought you was one of us. We comedian. We all
low key, because you're from Kissimmee and St. Cloud.
Correct.
And I'm still struggling in Kissimmee and St. Cloud.
Oh shit! I didn't know we were alumni. We're brothers. Okay,
yeah,
that's dope.
So I'm like,
hey, you're St. Cloud Kissimmee too, right?
No, I'm just Kissimmee.
Just Kissimmee.
Just
Kissimmee. I'm not claiming the whites out here today.
Yeah, we don't fuck with St. Cloud.
Cool.
We don't fuck with. But yeah, so what's it called? I was gonna ask you about hoes because you be getting hoes a lot.
From bachelor pads to hoes. Okay. To get the hose, you gotta have the bachelor pad.
But I was about to say, and do the hoes like the Power Rangers? Do they ask that as a good conversation starter?
Yeah. So, in my opinion, in order for honesty to be cultivated, it must first be celebrated, and that has to be in every facet of your life. So I live my life authentically me. This is gonna sound really pretentious, but I go out of my way to, if there's anything that the average person would be ashamed about or try to keep reserved, I try to put that on full blast. For example, my love of Power Rangers, my love of Drake. This is a huge season for Drake hate right now.
Yeah.
And I try to double down I don't give a fuck what y'all think. I'm a huge Drake fan. So my inner child, when I was a kid, the bright colors of Power Rangers and martial arts were two things that I was really, really a big fan of. Power Rangers captivated my attention at a very young age. My parents would buy me Power Ranger toys as a kid, but I could never get the expensive ones. I could never get the Megazords, you know?
You couldn't get a whole helmet and costume.
Yeah, I couldn't do all of that. My parents were we were decent middle class or whatever, but they would see the price tag and be like, nah, we get the $10 joint. Don't get the $50 joint.
Type shit.
So when I got older, in my early 30s, I actually went to a MegaCon for the first time at 29 or 30. I was there with a girlfriend at the time, and I was telling her, I was like, yo, as a kid, I always wanted these Megazords. And she was like, why don't you get them? And I was like, I'm an adult now. What the fuck am I going to do with a toy? I get bitches. And she was like, oh, well, if you don't get it for yourself, I'm going to get it for you. I've never seen you get excited before, and you got mad excited when you started talking about these toys.
Damn.
So she got money. She copped the thing for me. And then 2 years later, I was like, I had a whole fucking collection. I love the idea of displaying shit. I love the idea of having cases and showing it off. Yeah. So to circle back to your original question, when girls come through and they see this, I've never had a single deterrent. I've never had somebody pull her panties back up and was like, oh, no, fuck this. You like Power Rangers? I'm out of here. They're usually really impressed. They're like, oh, one, it's really well organized. Two, the fact that you are celebrating your inner child is dope. And three, the fact that you're being yourself here and your pad is decorated the way you want it to be is pretty fucking dope. So it's worked out for me so far.
I love this, not hating, but I think the real thought process is my kid come over here and play with these. I think that's the real thought process in their mind.
I feel like you're one of those don't touch my shit. If a kid come over.
100%. Can I just say that might be the first genuine laugh I've ever gotten from you.
Oh,
so
I appreciate it.
I appreciate. Yeah, that was the first legitimately funny thing I've ever heard you say.
Darwin.
That was great.
It's great. It's great out here making Kevin laugh. You're next.
Yeah. Oh shit.
All right.
No, I've never had a single female bring a kid up here, but I think the idea, you might be right. They're like, oh, Poppy, he has the thing.
Yeah.
Like.
My kids love Power Rangers.
I'm
pretty sure you hear that a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I hear that all the time. Oh, what they often say is, oh, my kid has all of these. I'm like, no, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
First of all, no, he doesn't. This is thousands of dollars worth of shit. Your kid doesn't have this. You don't have the money to buy it. You're a broke single mom from Kissimmee. Sorry.
That's where our fan base is from.
I collect their original Mighty Morphin season. These are over 30 years old. I'm not collecting. I don't know anything new about Power Rangers. I'm not keeping up with current Power Rangers.
The only thing that would be funnier is if you had a Segway in at your crib and you just segue to a Hot Wheels thing. He don't have any of this.
You don't have. I was just Richie Rich in the crib. I got a slide that leads into McDonald's down on 55 West.
Amazing. Dang, I was gonna ask you though, what's your favorite Power Rangers, but it's Mighty Morphin.
Mighty Morphin is my favorite. Actually, Power Rangers in Space is my favorite season.
Space
of
Power Rangers.
But this is the one that started it all. Mighty Morphin was the first season I got obsessed with. And Jason, the original Red Ranger, is my favorite Ranger of all time. So this is kind of like an homage to him and his team.
Really?
Better than Tommy.
I thought, mine was Tommy. I thought everyone's was Tommy.
Everybody loves Tommy. In my opinion, one, I don't want to speak ill of the dead. Rest in peace, Jason David Frank. I think that Tommy's a little pretentious. I actually kind of,
but you like pretentious.
As a kid, I love Tommy. Green and White Ranger are my second and third favorite after Red.
Yeah.
Going back and watching it as an adult, I fucking hate Tommy.
Never watched it back as an adult.
If you go back and watch it, first of all, he just comes in like he's too cool for school, and then he becomes obviously a fan favorite. Everybody loves him at that time. He leaves, loses his powers, and when he comes back and gets his powers, Zordon makes him the leader. Jason just automatically gets demoted for nothing. He's been running a fucking tight ship.
But that's
what's been no. You're not gonna talk over me. He's been the leader for the last 2 years, been leading the Power Rangers to victory day after day. And then they're like, "Oh, cool, Tommy, new White Ranger. Here's this sentient white sword. You're in charge now."
That's what's so cool about him. He was the Green Ranger. He whooped all their asses, and then he becomes a good guy.
He lost. He lost to Jason.
Did he not whip them a couple times?
He whipped their ass real good. He whipped them one time in the Zord. I know you remember that.
Exactly.
He fought all 5 of them together, stomped them, fought Jason in the 1v1, gave him the fair one, and the next time that he fought Jason whooped that ass. Whooped that ass, broke the sword of power, or the sword of evil, cleared his mind from Rita's spell, and then he joined the good side. But Jason had to whoop that ass in order to break the spell.
And also, he was on with the instrument weapon too, right? He has
the dragon dagger. I also have the dragon dagger. It's tucked behind the green case.
What are we talking about? But what is it? It goes against everything else you're for, though, because you're a fan of Charmander, which I was a fan of Charmander originally.
How do you know this about me?
I know everything about you. I was a fan of Charmander originally.
Okay, bad bitch. Yo, my soulmate.
It's the Nardwuar comedy, Darwin.
He's been doing he's been doing research on me.
I'm a fan of Charmander originally, but I feel like I did what you did. Like, once I got older, like, oh, everybody likes Charmander. Let me like somebody else. I ended up liking, in Generation 1, I like Bulbasaur, but Generation 2, I like Typhlosion.
Okay, cool. So you have a problem. You're a contrarian. If everybody else loves it, you automatically want to default to something else.
Yeah, sometimes, because I think it's like I like to look at why would I go with the grain if I go against it.
Okay, I'm not a contrarian. I'm completely okay with loving mass appeal things.
Yeah.
Honestly, if it's a team or a show, I just like whoever the loner character is on the show. I've always been a fan of like Seto Kaiba and Yu-Gi-Oh, Raphael and Ninja Turtles, Jason,
I like Raphael.
Vegeta and Dragon Ball.
When I played the NES games, I played them all.
Yeah.
I think that's my thing too. Like I like to be able to go from one thing to next. I like to give everything their just dues. If you're the greatest in the world, I'm not gonna be like you suck.
That's why Drake is having the problems that he's having right now, because he's the greatest in the world, and people like you are like, oh, he's too good. Let's get him out of here.
I'm the opposite. He's a Kendrick fan.
I've heard your I've heard your material.
Yeah. I'm a big Kendrick stan, and I'm just living my best life. That Drake's catching.
This is a good season for you.
This is the best season.
I like rooting for the underdog. I'm not. It made me more of a Drake fan now. To be honest with you.
So now Drake is an underdog.
I was about to say,
on top that now he's underdog.
He's an underdog now.
Kendrick beat him so bad that now Drake is the underdog.
This also goes with me being contrarian. It's like everyone likes Kendrick. You guys are all followers.
Yeah. Can I say I do love probably the first half of your Super Bowl Drake set that you do.
Yeah.
You're like walking him in during the Super Bowl. To the Sailor, I'm not gonna spoil the joke, but the Taylor Swift "Bad Blood" is very funny.
Thank you.
Think it gets a little too graphic and it loses steam by the time you get to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But I thought the joke was really clever and I laughed really hard the first time.
Appreciate it. I really thank you. It's dead now. I tried it again last night, and it was just.
It's
what?
It's so jarring and so graphic. If there are any women in the room, you're gonna lose them, because it's got a cringe factor. Mm-hmm. And women have the beautiful power of controlling the energy in a room.
That's true.
So if women are not enjoying your set, then their man is not enjoying their set, and then other people are not enjoying it around it.
It's always funny. It's always the funniest though when you're saying a joke that obviously is against women, and then the man's laughing, and he's like, Like, I gotta be a little careful. But when he loses it and he's laughing and the girl's not laughing, that's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, well, sometimes men can unify in that together.
As a contrarian.
Where we're all like, okay, yeah, this is not for them. Clearly, they're not enjoying this, but we see the humor in it. But sometimes they'll come out and they're so ostracized from other men.
Yeah.
And they're caught in the circle of like, oh, shit, I don't want to piss my girl off laughing at this.
Yeah.
That I refuse to laugh. And then now you have a shitty comedy night.
The only thing I think is a better feeling than that is I had a spit take one time, and I've been like wanting that again. Like, I had a girl drink, and I forgot what I said, but she just spit out her drink, and I'm like, this is amazing. I want this every time I do comedy.
So yeah,
what's the best feeling you think you've had during comedy?
Probably head. Yeah. Probably
like your dick sucked on stage.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
like head post show, like, oh my god, you were so amazing, you were so funny, you were so much better than the headliner, which is almost as good as head. Just somebody. This happens to me every once in a while. I'll like feature for somebody. Or I'll host for somebody and they'll come up to me. I've had people like hand me money low key and be like, you should have been the headliner tonight. Yeah. And then I'm like, shh.
You know what? You are the best host in the city.
Appreciate it.
I really hate hosting because I'm like, there's no glory in hosting. Like, all you're doing is setting up everybody else to have a better show. But you do such a good job hosting that like goes against my argument. Because you can't be such a good host that you're like, oh, this is clearly the best part of the show.
I take no glory in doing comedy as a one-man show to glorify myself. I'm not interested in being the best comedian there. I'm not interested in being the funniest comedian. You'll never see on my social media posts where I go, I'm funnier than everybody else. This is not like a sport for me where I feel like that I need to be better than everybody. I would much rather set people up in a position for them to win, for the audience to be the winners, because that's going to mean more people coming to shows more often, more people recommending comedy to their friends. And I have such a passion for this. What I notice in my personal life as a very social person is that most people have never been to a comedy show. A lot of people like comedy to some level, to some degree. They watch it on Netflix or Hulu, but they just don't have enough information about how to get to comedy shows at a huge level or even at a local level.
Yeah.
So it's kind of my crusade to make sure that everybody enjoys stand-up comedy in some capacity. The way that I do that, or the only way that I know how to do that, is to make sure people are having a good time at a show. And I feel like I have the most control to do that when I'm hosting. I'm the first person you see. I'm going to let you put your guard down. You don't have to worry about like, oh, hey, are people going to pick on me here? Did we make a good decision this Friday night, spending the money that we spent? You're in good hands with me. You're like, oh, he's funny, he's charming, he's likable. The next comic that can come to the stage can be the most jarring, outlandish person. But as long as you know the host is like, oh, hey, that's just him.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That was just a little quick 5
and
minutes.
that's a genre of comedy, and we need to celebrate that. We need to support that. And the audience understands, like, hey, not every comedian is going to be like that. Not everybody is going to be so adversarial. Then people are going to want to come to more shows.
I think the selfish part of my comedy is, like, when I go up, like, let's say I'm second to last, and then, or, like, you get off stage, people follow you. Mm-hmm. Or in Austin, I had probably the best experience where I was, like, 4th or 5th, and I was on stage, and as I'm getting off stage, the front row all just got up and just started hugging me, and like that's the good feeling to me. But you make it seem like hosting is the spot. Like you have that rare ability. Nobody else has that. Like, I've never seen anyone do a host set and be like, yeah, that was the best part of the show.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate.
And I definitely feel that way when I host. I feel when I host, I'm like, this sucks. Like no one's gonna remember me at the end of this.
Well, I don't really care about my set when I host. Obviously I'll get into my material because it's what needs to be done. I really care more about the audience.
Yeah.
And I think that I have the rare ability that I try to include audiences in all of my sets, whether I'm featuring, hosting, or headlining. So because audiences are egotistical, we're all kind of narcissistic by default.
Yeah.
They like it because they're like, oh, he's talking to us.
Yeah.
He's making us. The show is inclusive. He's making us a part of it, and that gives people the feeling to go, oh, that was amazing. It's not really as great as they think it is. They're just so egotistical. They're like, oh, he actually talked to us. All the other comedians just talked at us about whatever they wanted to talk about. So.
Yeah.
Do you remember your question?
My question wasn't about posting. I was going to talk about Power Rangers more.
Yeah, can we get back to the fucking Rangers? Why are you talking to me about this comedy show?
I know there's a comedy. You're like the best comedian out here, but like, gee, shit, Power Rangers is the greatest show.
I don't give a shit about comedy.
Wait, I do have a Power Ranger question. What is the equivalent of Power Rangers for a girl? Like you walk into a woman's house, this is her Power Ranger collection.
I think that every girl that has a thing like that had a boyfriend that got away.
Yeah.
Really?
Every girl who's like really obsessed with anime.
No, it's changing though. I feel like if she's my age and she likes anime, a guy introduced her. But if a girl's like in her early 20s, her dad introduced her to anime.
Yeah, either one. A prominent man in her life, an ex-boyfriend, an
but
older
isn't that a
brother.
green flag? If her dad introduced her to anime, that's a green flag.
I don't care about green flags and red flags. All these bitches are toxic to me. It doesn't matter.
To a degree, but I think it's less of a red flag. Like if your ex, I don't want to be a memory of your ex. I don't even want to watch anime.
I'm not that insecure as a person. If I like the same thing that your ex likes, it's just like, oh, you have a type. Okay, cool.
No, I don't like that.
I think when I was younger, Powerpuff Girls and Sailor Moon were the equivalent to Power Rangers for women. Mm-hmm. I don't really see that type of fandom as much anymore.
Hello Kitty?
Yeah.
Hello Kitty a little bit, but they would not have glass cases of Hello Kitty like that.
Yeah, I think that fandoms are way more unisex now. If a girl is into a niche thing, it could be something that guys like too.
What are you talking about?
Girls aren't collecting shit.
All women have the same like 5.
Rose?
Huh?
Sex toy?
Rose?
Yeah, they all have the rose. They all
same.
have the same motivational quote on their wall. Live, laugh,
love.
Yeah.
No, not
Books,
the cliche bitches.
smut. This isn't the same thing, but a lot of girls be reading smut.
Erotica?
Yes.
Erotica.
And I'm like, bro, read a real book. But
I just think you can't put girls in a specific box. There's so many different types of women out there.
Why are you doing this?
No, the fact
doing this?
I'm not pandering. I'm not pandering.
No, he's not.
Hold on, let me finish. I was actually gonna go first. Hold on, let me cook.
Just so you know, Darwin hates women.
Yeah, yo, if you don't love your mother, that's okay. I don't think you can put women in a specific box because I'll see your erotica and raise you. I don't date bitches who read books, so I don't even have that. It's like, oh shit, you date girls with the ability to read. Yeah. Where do they do that at?
I hate that from you. Because part of your set is generalizing people.
All the time.
Yeah. So saying a woman is a certain type of way is just a generalization.
Sure.
Just like generalizing Spanish people, generalizing people eating rice and beans, generalize it. Yeah.
So I actually hate my set. I hate how generalized it is, but I feel like that's the formula to make comedy work. I think when it comes to generalizing women, there it is more gnarly, I'll say, because when you talk about generalization in terms of race, we kind of all laugh like, ha, 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 that's an extreme. I think that there's a group of incel men and a group of men that don't get bitches that hear podcasts like this and really, truly believe, oh, all women are like that. All women are.
No, I think everyone, what is it? If you take statistics, everyone falls under 65% of a percentage. So everyone, 65%.
Everyone is 65%.
Yeah, like
what does that mean?
Yeah. I'm glad that you called that out because I was okay.
If you're in a room with 100
as soon as a
people,
motherfucker starts saying percentages to me, I back out. I'm done.
Never,
I don't know the percentage.
Never counted them out. But whatever. Sure.
So if you take statistics of 100 people, 65% are going to have the same opinion.
Not always, though. I mean, if you survey 100%
65% of the time,
most of the time, and
what's the percentage on that?
16% of the time, it works every time.
All right, I'll stop talking.
I love that you guys have a smart nigga and a dumb nigga in your podcast.
It's just like
it's so refreshing to sit next to Keenan and Kel.
Yeah,
it's nice.
I don't know,
we're brothers. We're happy and we're singing. And
this is what makes for a good podcast. You guys got Sean and Marlon.
We're just like. It's only with women, though. It's never about nothing else. Darwin always comes with a theory. He's like, oh, I just had this theory. Apparently, women are the devil, you know? And they grow their hair out to hide their horns.
He's like,
no. Okay, so I was reading a book. It's
by a woman.
By a woman called The Manipulated Man. And it's pretty much how men are manipulated by women. And it's pretty much women are all powerful. And everything we do and the reason we work is just because of women's satisfaction.
100%. I completely agree, and I believe that. Do you not believe that?
No, I was just saying what I read in the book.
I think you could take that from the perspective if you hear it from a woman and then get defensive. But if a man gave you that same exact description, but from the standpoint of like the reason that technology has advanced, the reason that we've advanced as a society, the reason that we're no longer living in caves is because cavemen were like, oh, hey, I want to have the hottest cave girl. Let me put a little bit, I'll put some paintings in my cave, and now I got a bad bitch. And then that's how the wheel got invented. And fucking thousands of years later, we have cars, buildings, and fucking plumbing. It's all relative, and I think it's all due to getting bitches.
I was just thinking about that. That's probably why like the camera was invented. I bet a dude was like, "Damn, those titties."
Yeah.
Like, I want to see those titties again. A painting just doesn't do it.
Every form of technology was invented to serve women.
The first picture was a selfie, a nude.
A nude.
Yeah.
The thing is, everything that we do, like, so I believe that women want security, comfort, and luxury. That's
who's generalizing them now.
If you talk to any woman in any form, whether they're not going to say the exact same thing, but every woman in a relationship is looking for some form of protection, which is security, some form of comfort, like, hey, I want to have a nice place to stay, and then once they find that luxury, upgrade better and better. And I think that every man, generally speaking, is looking for a woman. So
any woman,
yeah. I mean, aside from gay men and asexuals, but everybody is. So women are looking for that, and men are looking for women. So men create luxury and comfort and security in order to obtain women, and women get with us in exchange for what they're looking for. And that's how society advances. Yeah.
Whether you're rich or broke, as long as you just clean your house, take a shower.
That's not what he said at all. No, he didn't say that at all.
That's not, obviously it's more standards than cleaning, but the point I'm trying to say is, like, if you just have like a...
Well, they'll clean for you.
If you put together...
If you can protect them in some form or another, it doesn't have to be with strength. You can protect them with your money. If you can protect them with your status, if you can protect them with your time, they're going to be with you. If you can comfort them in whatever way, emotionally, you can comfort them by keeping them in a nice
Man, I wish we had a girl on this podcast. They would probably end this debate or mention.
I don't think a woman would disagree with that, though.
I think depending on how it's propositioned, they might feel a little defensive by it because it's new information to them. But I think that most women can agree that security and comfort
I'm
is
just
a
making
basic
a jab
human...
at Jenny that's not here. That's in Louisiana. I was making a jab. I'm just being...
Is it true she don't have no nipples?
She says that. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh, well, shout out to her and her man. I'm not interested in looking into the nipples, but it's always something that's plagued the back of my mind.
She always says, I really
Jenny
don't believe
with the eye and no nips.
Yeah.
That's her two
I
defining
never
qualities.
said that on this podcast that she had no nipples. She's always talking.
She says it on stage. It's like her...
She says it on stage, but never on the pod.
That would piss me off. If I finally got with a girl that I was always trying to get with, and I got her top off and her bra off, and she had no nipples, because I'm an areola nigga. Areolas are everything to me. I like a big, dark, round areola.
Dark.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to necessarily be dark, but don't have no pink shit around me.
I like pink. I saw a pink nipple the other day, and it made my whole night.
No, I don't like a pink nipple. What about you? You a pink nipple guy?
I didn't think about it until you just said it, but like, if there was no nipples, I'd feel some type of way.
Yeah. You know why I think I like pink nipples? I think my nipples are kind of pink, and I hate them on me because it makes me feel feminine.
That's why you hate women. You hate yourself.
You look at yourself.
Every time he looks at his titties, he's like, I hate these bitches.
I love myself. Fat bitch. I do love myself.
I would never date me.
I love myself, but I feel... I'm feminine because I have pink nipples. I feel like if I had a darker nipple, I'll be more masculine.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's why I don't like darker nipples.
I don't think the masculinity or feminine comes from the pigment. Yeah.
I don't hate myself.
He's suppressing homosexual feelings and tendencies, and it's okay. We all do it. You know, I'm guilty of it.
You're projecting right now.
I'm projecting.
Yeah.
I'm projecting.
I don't have that feeling. You know what I've gotten, though? I've gotten sometimes people tell me to be more confident, and they don't know how confident I could be. And it'll be annoying if I was just confident all the time.
Do you think that anybody can mistake confidence for arrogance?
Yes.
Because I get accused of not being humble enough, and I don't know if I come across arrogant. I could completely be arrogant. You guys could tell me tonight. But I think that I'm a very humble person. I don't really like to talk or brag about it. But but hold on.
Something a humble person will say. I'm a very humble person.
I don't like
to brag about how humble I am.
I'm very humble until the lane is open for me, and then I'll talk your ear off with how dope my shit is.
Yeah.
If you give me an opportunity to brag about how expensive my Power Rangers are, or how many pairs of sneakers I have, or how good I am at bagging bitches, I will talk your ear off. I don't know if that speaks to confidence or arrogance.
Confidence stops at what you can do, and arrogance starts at what you can't do. So if you say something that you can't do, then you're being arrogant. But clearly you have the Power Rangers. Clearly you got the nice place.
I'm never talking about things that I don't know about, that I'm ignorant to, or that I'm not currently immersed in.
Exactly.
I think that was a dope quote.
That's fire. I
like
that.
Was a dope quote.
Put on a shirt.
I don't know how true that is. I like it for me because as somebody who gets accused of being arrogant all the time, that's like a really great defense, a fucking trap card that I can throw out that I like. Yeah. But I don't know if that's true. I think
people that hate confidence just aren't confident. Just like
Yeah, I see that a lot. I see a lot of times where people are like, "Oh, yeah, you need to humble yourself," and then I look into their lives and they're just like a very insecure person. But I don't know if that's always true.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's being confident, I like, by all means, be confident.
I think sometimes you could just be misperceived. I know there was a point in time where I was in the Orlando comedy scene, and I was new. I was one of the newer people, so I was just more quiet, more shy. I didn't really know anybody. I would do my set. It was mid, and then I'd get out of there. And then as I started getting more notoriety and people started recognizing me, I'm a little bit more boisterous. I'm a little bit more outgoing now. And somebody at a show one time was like, "Hey, I see you're doing really well on social media and in life. I just want to let you know, like, we missed the old Kev. Like, the old Kevin was, like, so humble and down to earth. This Kev's a little bit cocky."
I remember you made a post about that, actually, where they just want to keep you in your place.
And I was like, first of all, I've always been this confident. I just want to let you know I was new, so I wasn't out here strutting my shit. And also, like, this is like crazy coming from somebody that doesn't know me, that really doesn't hasn't really seen me in my natural element.
I think that's the reason, like, I don't get to that next stage in life, because, like, God's trying to keep me humble. Like, he don't want me to, like,
that, or you don't practice. Yeah. I mean, he's like, I haven't written a new joke in 3 years.
Jokes all the time, but no, it's crazy how, like, far I want to, like, get crazy, like how crazy I want to be.
You're like, oh, God is keeping me from the plateaus that I need to be at. Do you feel like that maybe comedy is not your God-willing destiny?
Yeah,
sometimes
God is holding you back?
Guys, you can only do 5 minutes, bro. Like,
no, but he's like, yo, open mics, crush them.
Crush them.
Anything else, slow your roll.
You're the greatest cashier. Like, you'll never be the CEO, but I love you here. Like,
I don't believe or agree of that ceiling at all. I don't think that God's a dick like that. And
I didn't say no. He's doing something for your benefit. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Yeah, it's
there
for your benefit.
Yet on this journey that God has laid out for you.
I'm also a hippie when it comes to God. Like, I believe, like, by all means, that we're supposed to be.
Can we get back to this Power Ranger shit?
Yeah, God made Power Rangers, so let's fucking talk about it.
So you're Guyanese.
Yes.
You're Guyanese. What do people not know about Guyanese people?
What do I not fucking know about Guyanese people? I don't know enough. My mom is from Guyana. She moved to Brooklyn when she was 18. She met my dad. He was already living there. And then they moved to Florida to have me. I'm as Americanized as they come. Yeah. I don't have a Guyanese accent. I probably eat Guyanese food maybe 5 or 6 times a year when my mom cooks it. People ask me all the time, like, do you go to Sing's roti shop? Like, no, I don't give a shit about it.
You were angry today about people, like, not knowing the difference between Guyanese.
Oh, I was mad because I was talking to a baddie yesterday at the show, and, like, we're flirting and shit. And she was like, oh, where are you from? She's like, oh, she initially thought I was Dominican. Because I do a show at a Spanish spot.
Yeah, which gets me mad. How you pronounce it? It's a Spanish word.
Yeah, what is it? Unico?
It's Unico.
Yeah, Onico.
Unico, it's a Spanish word.
Unico Gastro Lounge, Onico. I purposely pronounce it wrong to piss Spanish people off.
It's working.
It's a conversation starter.
But, I do the same thing with Colombia. I think someone corrected how you put Colombia.
Yeah, it's a U, but it's a O.
Yeah. They get pissed off when people do that. They also get pissed off when you confuse their flag for the Venezuelan flag.
Yeah.
So I like doing little stuff like that.
I like mixing up the Puerto Rican and the Cuban flag just to piss y'all off.
I think it's funny too. But what do you do where people like come up to you and thought you were Puerto Rican, like, and Guyanese, that'll be like a conversation ender?
No, not really. So the girl that I was talking to, she was like, oh, you're Dominican, right? And she was like feeling me. So the fact that she was like, oh, I know you're Hispanic like me, and that's why, like, there's a connection between us. And I was like, no, I'm actually Guyanese. And she was like,
you're Latino.
Oh. She's like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, it's a country. I don't expect everybody to know when I say that. I'm like, oh, it's a country in South America. It's on the top of South America. And she was like, okay, but yeah, what is it, though? Is it like Brazil, or is it Colombia? Is it Venezuela? I'm like, oh, okay.
It's Venezuela.
Not only are you completely ignorant to my culture and my country, you're also a dumb bitch that you think that there's only Hispanic-speaking countries in South America. So, like,
there's not. No, I'm just kidding.
The fact that she rang off 3 different Latin countries.
Well, Brazil speaks Portuguese, to be fair to her.
Yeah, but there's also a huge Spanish population in Brazil.
I don't know about that. No? I don't know about that.
Wait, so you're mad that she assumed you speak Spanish?
I was just mad that she had never heard of Guyana, and she just assumed that Guyana must be a part or territory of one of these other larger Latin countries.
We're labeled the Hispanic podcast with, like, Latinos being here, and you're Latino yourself. So I just wanted to You are Latino.
Are you? He has a theory that Haitians are Latino.
No, it's a whole thing. There's a chart about it. Damn, man, I hate.
Anyway.
I think that you can qualify Haitians as Latino because they share the island of
Española.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it to have an opinion. I don't really get into other people's cultures. I'm a narcissist myself. If it's not about me, I don't go.
But you don't know. You don't know about your own culture. This is because look, I've have several Guyanese friends, but I've tried the curry. But every time they always like try to mix themselves with Indian, so it's hard to like differentiate you guys from Indian because it's so much Indian culture.
So Guyana is a country similar to America where there's a multitude of different ethnicities all in the central hub of Guyana. There are white Guyanese, there are black Guyanese, there are Indian Guyanese, and then within that subcategory, there's a lot of Hindi and Hindu Guyanese, and then there's Muslim Guyanese as well. So you're going to experience a lot of different cultures, and the curry and all of the food in general is going to vary depending on what population of Guyanese.
What I'm trying to ask is, how do I stereotype you? How do I?
What are your rice and beans?
Friends? Yeah, how do I make a Guyanese friend?
I don't make a Guyanese friend.
Go to New York. If you go to New York, every Guyanese is in Brooklyn or Canada. All you have to do is say chicken curry instead of curry chicken. Mention roti. I don't know how to describe curry. It's like a flat bread. It's like naan. Mention roti and mention any type of Guyanese sweet, whether it be tamarind balls, puluri, tennis rolls, anything of the culture. It's the same thing with every culture. If you go up to a Puerto Rican and you go, yo, fuck mango, but mofongo though, they're like, oh shit, this guy knows. You go up to a Dominican, you go plátano and salami for breakfast tomorrow. He's like, oh, okay, he's one of us. All right, Bobby. If you go to a Colombian, you go cocaína, coffee, and then they go,
they're gonna get pissed off.
Yeah, they're good. And now you got them.
Yeah, freaking, you like me are very Americanized, but until someone like mentions your shit, like, oh, I don't fuck with Puerto Ricans, then it's like I'm the most Puerto Rican motherfucker.
Yeah, it get tribal real quick.
Like real quick, even though I don't even speak Spanish and all this shit.
So I feel like a lot of my material when I started off was geared towards Puerto Ricans.
I was gonna say you're more Puerto Rican than me at this point.
I grew up in Kissimmee where I was surrounded by Hispanic people. I used to get made fun of in middle school when I first started growing out my hair because one of the coolest kids in school had super curly locks, like kind of similar to yours.
Yeah.
Super curly hair. I started growing out my hair and my shit was nappy, but I would every day like run water and gel in it to try to like assimilate and I wasn't trying to be Puerto Rican. I was trying to be Michael Jackson. I wanted a Jerry curl.
I was about to say this is more like Samoan locks or some bullshit. But
so I was coming to school and they were like, oh, look at this dude with like nappy wet hair. And then eventually, like slowly but surely, like I started figuring out like how to do the curls and the locks and shit. And then I came into my own. Yeah, but there was a point of time where I was so around Puerto Rican people and Puerto Rican culture in general, and they were just so uninitiated to anything else but Puerto Rican culture. So I was going to teen clubs and doing like reggaeton. I know way more fucking Spanish dances, bachata, salsa, fucking merengue than I do my own fucking culture's dances. And a part of that is why I'm the way that I am with Power Rangers and stuff like that today, because I felt like I was suppressing who I naturally was to try to assimilate to a whole culture that I was surrounded in as a kid.
Okay.
So yeah, I went from elementary school where everybody was white, and then I had to fit into white shit. I was really into Saved by the Bell, Boy Meets World, Dawson's Creek. Really more because of my sisters than the school, but it was very, very white. And then middle school, it switched. As soon as we got to Neptune Middle School, everybody was Hispanic, and like hip hop and Hispanic culture ran that fucking shit.
Maybe that's why I was allowed to be myself, because Puerto Ricans just thought I was Puerto Rican. Like you just dab someone up, and
you're
then
like Nicaraguan or something.
Yeah, I'm from Nicaragua. Yeah. And then I'll tell them. They'll be like, "Hey, where you from?" And I'll be like, "Nicaragua." And then the conversation will end. They're like, "I don't know anything about Nicaragua."
Talking to you.
They're my best friends, but
it's crazy, and I don't want to offend anybody on this podcast, but I will say Puerto Ricans don't know shit about culture outside of their culture until it comes time for them to defend why they use the N-word. That's the only time that Puerto Ricans know about history.
Hey, I'm not gonna let you make an N-word point around here. But in middle school, when everyone's trying to like, I wasn't trying to assimilate because I just felt like I could be my own person because they just let me be my own person. Everyone's sort of watching the same thing. We're all like growing up on BET. We're all watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We're all listening to Lil Wayne. So we're all just trying to be black.
Puerto Ricans are black adjacent.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, there's black in that lineage. There's black in that heritage. Like,
there is,
yeah.
but like Paul Mooney would say like, oh, you're just a N-word that speaks Spanish, but like not that like they really colonized.
I feel like that's
Rico.
why I really like Paul Mooney because he called Mexican black people.
Well, Zoe Saldana is going through it right now. She's the first
She's
Dominican
to win an Oscar. Yeah,
to win the Oscar. But the black community is upset with her because she didn't acknowledge her black heritage.
Yeah, what is it? Are we black or we not black? What is it?
Yeah, but like, why do I need to do that? Why do I need to specify subcultures? I'm Dominican. You guys know Dominicans are black. I've done many black roles. I've acknowledged my blackness multiple times.
Also, but she got in trouble for like literally doing blackface because she played Nina Simone.
If Dominicans were saying the N-word, y'all be like, y'all not black, and then because they say they're not black, you're like, what are you talking about? We're the same color.
Yeah,
that's a whole thing with Dominicans. I don't know.
I feel like you can't win for losing. I've never actually met a Dominican that was like, I'm not black. I'm sure that exists, but I'm sure there's also Dominicans that are not black. There are white Dominicans.
Yeah. If I'm look like Bad Bunny, and it's
if I'm Kissimmee, I'm saying the N-word, but I stopped saying it. I stopped saying it because I had a youth pastor when I was 17 that was black, and he went to jail. He was Haitian.
For beating up people for saying that.
He went to jail, and he stopped saying it. So I'm like, oh, man, this guy's not cussing. I'm not cussing because I wanted to be a lot like him when I started going to church. I started going to church at 17.
That might be the gayest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Trying to be like a pastor, bro.
Huh?
The only little kid who didn't get hit on by a pastor and shit.
He was my youth pastor. Nah, he had a wife. He had wife and kids.
That's cute. I grew up in church, man. You know what? I take back the gay comment.
I didn't grow up in church. Like I feel like for me, church was like a choice. Like I was like, oh, I gotta change my life around. Like my brother was in the gangs. And
you had to change your life around. You were like selling dope outside on the street.
I just felt like there was my brother was in the gangs and
bitches.
Darwin,
what kind of Nicaraguan?
I don't want
what type of Nicaraguan?
I don't want to open doors.
Like a fucking slums upbringing. It's like a fucking gangster movie. Like,
Darwin had a hard life. His brother was coming home with Nicaraguan drugs every day.
Like Menace dos Society. Like that was his upbringing and shit.
Menace dos Society.
I gotta make a choice. I don't want to be like.
Oh my god, I didn't know that about you, Darwin. I thought you grew up in the suburbs.
I don't like to open up doors, that I can't close.
Okay. Oh shit. All right. That's promising.
That's a quote right there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I want doors I can't close.
I don't want any smoke with the Nicaraguan.
The Nicaraguan.
Yeah. I'm already having a hard enough time pronouncing the name of the country, so I don't want.
One of the dudes I know, his goal for 8th grade when he graduated to join high school, he was like, I'm gonna join the Land Kings. That was his 13-year-old goal. I was like, why?
Yeah.
They got cool colors, man. Was the Land Kings yellow?
He did like the colors. He did end up joining. I think
colors.
He's
I wanted to be a blood simply because of the love of the Red Ranger.
Yeah,
yeah, I was like Red Ranger shit.
Jason's a blood.
Yeah, Jason. Yo, blood, cuz. Blood gang, cuz.
Yeah.
On my Megazord, cuz.
Yeah, on my on Dinozord, I'll beat your fucking ass, dog.
Out of this galaxy, bitch.
On Tyrannosaurus, dog. For real talk. Yo, get Tommy out of my face.
Yo, put your hands up. It's morphin' time. Let's go, bro. Goddamn. Yeah, I was not a gangster. I had my brother was a wannabe gangster, and he was friends with a gangster, but I could not, I like Power Rangers.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Oh, 24. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I could see if you put a hat on and really Jerry juiced your hair in the back, you could have like an Eazy-E Ice Cube look.
I was low-key I'd be scared to put this hat on with my hair or whatever. Mm-hmm. I was like, why do I have a Jerry curl in 2025? I need to shape up or something. But
hey, a shape up will get it done. A shape up is such an underrated tool for men to get bitches. If niggas only knew that a clean lineup could get them where they needed to be.
I feel like
I can't do it no more.
I feel like haircut me and not haircut me get different women.
I feel like that's a universal standard.
Yeah, it's
that's like
saying with a shower and me stinking.
Yeah,
they like
it. No, you're not getting different women if you stink.
That's what I'm saying. You're not getting women if you stink, and you're not getting women if you don't have.
No, I feel like if I have a haircut, I'm still getting girls. They're just different girls.
No, so are you saying if you don't have a haircut, you're still getting girls?
I'm just getting different girls. Like different. Right. Some women like the clean look. Some women like the.
Yeah.
Come on, we can't generalize.
Like you're a completely different person.
I feel like I am. We can't generalize. We can't generalize women to liking haircuts. All right.
My lady doesn't really like shape up. She thinks it's too mass.
Your lady's white.
She's Hispanic, but she's white passing. But yeah, she.
White passing. Okay.
But she likes Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny doesn't have a shape up. He has curly hair and shit. So that's why I have fucking curly hair. But also I wish I could get a shape up. I'm going bald and shit. My hairline's receding. That's why I'm growing my hair out.
I feel like you don't need a shape up at this point because your hair literally covers the whole lineup.
Exactly. But
I do feel like you need product. You definitely need a moisturizer.
It's a little dry right
now.
You
need a conditioner.
I need a leave-in conditioner.
You're Build-A-Bear for your girl, and your girl's just trying to make you into Bad Bunny.
Type shit. Literally, I hated Bad Bunny the first time, but 2 years in, I'm growing my hair out. I'm like, free my island. I'm like,
yo.
What's something you've changed about yourself for a woman?
Me? Oh
Yeah,
my God.
Power Rangers. I only do this. I only do this for the bitches, man.
Like now or like of all time?
Just a memory.
I can't think
Maybe
of
even a cringy memory. I
Yeah, what's
remember.
some embarrassing? Like you listen to My Chemical
I
Romance.
threw away my Yu-Gi-Oh cards because this girl told me Yu-Gi-Oh was from the devil. She's like, yeah, you can go to hell for having Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Really
I
like
threw them away.
Christian
She was the
girl.
baddest girl in school. Shout out to you.
Bro, I don't think I've ever.
Baddest fourth grader ever.
This is gonna sound crazy. I don't think I've ever compromised for a woman or for vagina at all.
All right.
Like the one thing that I have about me, I'm not the most in shape dude. I'm not the best athlete or anything. The one thing I can really pride myself on is I'm authentically myself, and I've been like that since I was a kid. I've been like that since I was really little. So if it's like a matter of, oh, this girl's not going to date me if I watch a certain TV show or if I eat a certain cuisine or something, I'm like, yo, peace out, bitch. Like, I've never been the type of person to be like, nah, I'm going to change this about myself for a girl. I also grew up on the movie Grease. I feel like Grease is a very, like, early on, it teaches you, like, don't change for your person, and then you have to change at the end for your person. She ended up getting a leather jacket. Like, that movie teaches you to change.
Zach and Cody.
Zach and Cody.
Zach and Cody taught me that.
How old are you, Darwin?
He doesn't like to say. He doesn't like to say.
I'm 29.
You shouldn't be learning lessons from Disney
Zach
Channel
and
at your age. I feel like we were around the same age. You are already a pretty big kid with Zach and Cody.
I
was like a 14.
Get home from high school.
No, I was like a
watch
preteen.
Zach and Cody.
I was a preteen. I was a preteen. I added
I love it too old
My
to
mom's
be
dad,
learning
too.
lessons from Dylan and Cole Sprouse, bro.
Come on, I was a preteen and I added both of them on MySpace. All right, they were a big
Oh,
influence on my life. You over here at Power Rangers at whatever age you are. Shut up.
Be yourself. I'm here for that,
All
bro.
right,
I watched
he's
Zach and Cody too. I just wasn't learning life
He's
lessons.
got
yeah,
Zach and
'cause
Cody
they were-
posters all over his house
were
now. He's
dating-
living his truth.
Ashley Tisdale was his bae.
No
Yo.
posters. I didn't like Ashley. I like the Asian one.
Brenda
Brenda's
Song.
songs.
Yeah.
Oh, Macaulay Culkin's gonna whoop your ass when you watch this
Yo.
podcast.
I want
Better
it.
not find you home alone, B. It's on site. It's on site.
It's Brenda
Darwin.
Songs, Topanga,
Brenda Song.
Hillary from Fresh Prince.
You guys see my artwork? You have all my
All
my
your
crushes. They're on
sitcom
both
crushes
sides.
and shit.
Yeah, Kelly
Damn.
Kapowski, Christina Milian,
Damn.
fucking Neil Long, and Lisa Turtle. Lark Voorhees.
I also like George Lopez's wife in the George Lopez show.
As a
I
Carmen.
met a girl last night that looks just like George Lopez's wife. She's coming to my show tonight. It's gonna be fire.
Gotta pop out the George Lopez jokes. Whap out. No, stop. Anyways, but I don't have any fucking sitcom crushes. I feel like a weirdo.
You're younger. I feel like sitcoms kind of passed you by.
Yeah,
and
like
YouTube,
people
you
in
had
the
a
late
YouTube crush,
in
Jenna
their
Marbles?
early 20s, they didn't really have it like that. And in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, sitcom ran TV.
Yeah.
Now we're like less in a television phase and really more into streaming. So I feel like sitcoms have less of a profound influence.
Yeah, like sitcoms. My sitcoms were like Drake and Josh. It's
Yeah.
like
No, I'm with
children's
Drake and
sitcom.
Josh.
It's
Yeah.
chill, but like I'm like those are the finest boobs. Was just Drake and Josh. Like I don't have crushes or like cartoons. Were you a weirdo? You like cartoons and shit?
I love cartoons.
Yeah.
I could talk your ear off about cartoons.
Like Shigo, Batty.
Oh,
Shigo's
yeah,
Batty.
Kim Possible.
But
yeah.
I didn't like
Possible
Shigo. When I
Batty.
was young, I didn't like Shigo.
You know, like
People
Shigo?
like Shigo. Yeah.
Yeah, as a young guy, I didn't appreciate Shigo.
Who is
I like Starfire.
I love Starfire. I love Blackfire too. Who
Starfire.
was Kim Possible's bully, the head cheerleader in the school? She
Ooh,
had that
she
little
brown
the
hair.
brown lip. It was also
Yeah.
like a mustache.
It looked like a mustache, but it was her lip. Yeah, and she had like not shaggy, but like brown
Yeah,
hair.
I like
have no
her.
idea.
I had a
She
crush on her. She was the
Ooh.
one.
I like the
We love a
bad,
mean girl.
the good-looking girl in the Proud Family. You know the one with
La Cienega.
yeah, and then
You're racist. You like Spanish women. There was a room full of black
wait,
women
yeah.
on a
I also
television
like-
show.
I mean,
It's like
fucking-
Trudy.
Her mom is
Trudy was
the
bad.
mom is
Okay,
Hispanic.
all right, you get points.
Making
Nah,
Oscar
I don't
proud.
know.
Trudy wasn't Hispanic. She was black.
What? She was
black.
probably half.
No, they
No.
would have acknowledged that. That's a
you see,
black
this is what Spanish
family.
people do. We didn't have a lot of
Nah.
Spanish representation.
These
So
are
they make
assimilated.
everybody
Hey,
Spanish.
that is a
Because
Hispanic
Bruce Lee-
show.
Because
The
Bruce
Proud
Lee,
family.
What about Proud Family?
Bruce Lee, like, yeah, I couldn't like gravitate to a lot of Spanish people on TV, but I really like Bruce Lee. I'm like, yeah, this guy's like pretty much
He's probably a
Dragon
quarter
Ball Z.
Latino. And then you guys
Bruce
start
Lee.
telling that story, and the next thing you know, that becomes a part
If
of
you
the
ask a
lore.
Puerto Rican, is Kim Kardashian Puerto Rican? They're like, yeah, she's
Yeah,
like a quarter Puerto
totally,
Rican.
bro.
This bitch is Armenian. She's not even a little bit
not
Puerto
even
Rican.
Spanish at all.
Yeah, Puerto Ricans will claim you.
Yeah.
That's how y'all got dominoes. You guys started playing dominoes and then you got good at it. They're like, oh no, Bobby, this is us. It's like, no, you don't own dominoes, motherfucker. You didn't invent dominoes.
Wait till you hear about the origin of spades.
Oh, word?
No,
Spades
just-
comes from black.
Whoa.
Let me find out
Whoa,
Puerto
whoa,
Ricans
whoa.
invented spades.
We were in jail. We were like, hey man, what's up with these black hearts?
crazy.
But literally, I'd be like annoying with the Puerto Rican shit. I was literally when what's her face Zoe won the Oscar. I was like annoying my girl. I'm like, you know why she won that? Because she's half Puerto Rican.
She is. She didn't acknowledge that neither. You weren't mad about that?
I'm fucking furious.
Yeah, I'm pissed off.
I feel like every Puerto Rican does acknowledge a Puerto Rican though on stage. Like I feel like any award.
Oh, I feel like when you become there's a certain few things that's like when you are that's your whole identity.
Yeah.
Like when you're if you're gay, that's your whole world.
Jake Paul and Logan Paul didn't start winning until they moved to Puerto Rico.
Are Jake Paul and Logan Paul Puerto Rican?
No,
they live in Puerto Rico because they don't want to pay taxes, but whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, good shit. But yeah, it's weird being a minority and have to represent whatever you are.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because you're like, oh, well, what makes me different? How can I go against the grain? And then you're like, oh, yeah, well, this whole thing, this whole subculture, which actually relates to so many millions of people is how I can get my thing, but it also makes me unique and different. So,
well, you're as a Hispanic, you're taught to like take pride in who you are. Like, if you ever talk to a Colombian person knows no Spanish, but their accent in Spanish is perfect. Because they take pride in their accent and their Spanish. And Puerto Ricans don't have that with their Spanish, but they have that with their flag. Like, hey, you're gonna take part of this. You're Puerto Rican.
Yeah, it's all part
you're
of
Puerto
the
Rico,
culture.
puñeta.
Yeah, that's fair. I kind of only exclusively dated Hispanic women for a really long time. It wasn't until my second to last most significant relationship I started dating a Jamaican. Before that, I had only been with
what a mistake. No, I'm just playing.
no, that was solid. That was solid too. That's actually pretty similar to my culture, like Caribbean culture in general. But before that, bro, living in Kissimmee, I was only dating Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. Now every time I date a Puerto Rican, they're like, "Yo, how do you know so much about my culture?" I'm like, "How do you not know so much about mine?" Like, American culture is where you live. It's the default. You ever been dating a girl and then you be like, oh yeah, well that just reminds me of the scene in Back to the Future, and she's like, oh, I've never seen Back to the Future. Like,
what?
Bitch, like
what,
how do
stupid?
how do you not know like American like American pop culture in general?
There's so much American pop culture. I get it.
I mean,
like,
yeah, that'll happen with like
I've never watched The Bachelor. I've never.
Okay,
you're also not a homosexual.
You're not my mom. Like, what the fuck? Like, you don't have to watch The Bachelor.
I've never watched Star Wars.
That's surprising to me because you're a virgin. So that's weird to me.
I have Power Ranger collection makeup for it.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I'm the kind of person that if it's widely popular enough and I don't know about it, I'll feel dumb. So I'll go back and watch it. I didn't watch Star Wars growing up. My parents weren't into it. But when I was in middle school and Revenge of the Sith came out, I was like, I know that this is a big deal, and I forced myself because I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I went back and watched it.
Let me check it out.
And then now I'm obsessed with it.
I'm also a contrarian, so that's probably why.
Yeah. So I'm a kind of person that if it's widely accepted, I believe that it's that way for a reason. Yeah. So I want to look into it.
I believe it's overrated until I like it like 2 years later. I'm like, this is the best. Wawa? Y'all tried it yet? Chipotle?
Buc-ee's?
I went to Buc-ee's anyway.
I wasn't impressed.
I've been to Buc-ee's one time. I don't get the hype.
I just thought it was overpriced.
It's a big gas station. Like, who gives a fuck?
The bitches love it. They're like, oh my god, it's barbecue. You can get whatever you want.
I thought it was overpriced. That's why I didn't like it. I got a swim short from there though.
You know what I don't like as somebody who loves popular things? I don't like being put on to popular things.
Yeah.
If someone's like, oh, you have to watch this. Yeah. This is the greatest thing in the world. I will not watch.
No,
I'm not interested.
You have to watch The Office. Like
that's amazing.
I
love The
Hate
Office.
it. Never watched The Office. I've seen multiple episodes. I think it's very funny.
It's hilarious.
The episode where Jim pretends to be an Asian dude to get over on Dwight.
Yeah, that guy.
I'm familiar with all the characters. I know the show. I know the premise.
Or like Friends. It's just so popular. You kind of already know
I'm so immersed in it. And I don't care.
Actually, that is something. You're kind of like Ted from How I Met Your Mother in the comedy scene, to be honest with you.
I love How I Met Your Mother. How am I like Ted?
You're Ted, man. You're just,
how the fuck am I Ted?
Neil Patrick Harris? That's Ted?
No, Ted is the dude, the main character. He's the one.
Oh,
he's
the guy.
Romantic, yeah.
He's like Ted.
How am I fucking Ted Mosby?
You're really, you know who you really are? You're Carrie from... what's that show?
Carrie Diaries.
You're Sarah Jessica Parker from
Sex and the City. I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. You know what? Matter of fact, get the fuck out of my apartment.
You're Carrie.
How the fuck am I Carrie?
You know who I am from Sex and the City? I'm the guy that opened up the pizza shop. That's who I am.
I've never watched Sex and the City. Once again, I'm not a homosexual. So let me ask you for clarity so I could keep my hands to myself. How am I Ted from How I Met Your Mother? And then further, how am I Carrie?
You're just out there looking for love. You're always...
You're the main character, Kevin.
You're the main character, putting your best foot forward every time when it comes to love.
So you think that I'm a serial dater?
No, I think you're a lover boy. That's why I like Drake. Come on.
What is giving you the inclination to have
Don't
these
think too deep about it, Kevin.
I'm not.
You're
not gonna call me out on a podcast. You're not gonna blindside me at my house.
Is Ted a bad character? I've never seen the show.
Ted is the main character, and he's a widely accepted character. But if you go back and watch fan theories now, they're like, Ted is a douchebag. Ted is a prick. Ted is the worst character on the show.
Damn.
It's kind of the same thing of like
he is pretentious, but he is.
But
like,
this is
years later in retrospect.
hindsight.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Daniel LaRusso and the Karate Kid. If you grew up in the 80s, you loved Daniel LaRusso as the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
And then years later, because of How I Met Your Mother, full circle, fucking Neil Patrick Harris is like, oh, Daniel LaRusso is not the Karate Kid. William Zabka is the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Daniel LaRusso is a punk who ruined Johnny Lawrence's life on his senior year. And then they made a YouTube series about how Daniel LaRusso is the villain of the Karate Kid.
Cobra Kai.
And that's how Cobra Kai was created.
Yeah.
So now going back where it's like this whole revisionist history where they're like, oh, Ted Mosby was kind of like the villain of the show.
He wasn't the villain. I just rewatched it not so long ago. Like I just had it in the background.
Or people say that about Ross, that Ross is low-key like
Ross is
guy.
He's not a good person. He's
Ted,
an asshole.
Ted is still a good person. He was just like in love with Robin, and because he was in love with Robin, every decision he made was just a bad decision.
Yeah.
So it's not his fault. He's
self-deprecating. Yeah, I mean, I think from the actual written standpoint of the show, but you can see multiple episodes where he did multiple things. It's like, yo, if this was anybody else, you can literally make the antagonist.
But he's dating women he doesn't love because he's already in love with someone.
Yeah, at a deeper level.
Yeah.
Doesn't the show end with him not getting with the broad he's been trying to get with the whole time?
It ends with him getting with her. He's like, oh, this whole thing.
There's two different alternate endings.
Okay, I watched the one on Netflix.
So typically he finally finds the mother, and then spoiler alert, the show's been out for 15 years. Kill yourself. The mom ends up dying of like cancer or some shit.
What?
And then he asks the kids who he's telling the story to the whole time, like, hey, I kind of love Robin. I've always loved Robin. Would you guys be okay? And they're like, yeah, go after Aunt Robin, like, because they know her. They grew up with her. And then he brings her the thing from the pilot episode that started it all, and he ends up he gets with her at the end.
That sounds terrible.
No, it's decent. The Office is way better, but The Office is amazing.
I do not like The Office. Too many people try to put me on.
When you watch it again, Neil Patrick Harris, like, I remember the first time watching it, he's hilarious. But when you watch it again, you're like, wait, this guy's gay. Like you.
It is weird, yeah. He's a great actor.
It's hard watching a show when you know
he has a lot
things
of shirtless
in
scenes too.
Yeah, in
he has
hindsight.
a lot of shirtless scenes too. I'm like, this guy has a lot of shirtless scenes.
This guy is very gay.
But he's a great actor.
Wayne Brady's a great actor now. I don't know if he's really gay or not, but he's amazing.
Who?
He's from Orlando. He started off in SAC.
Yeah.
I identify with characters like Barney. I like to. I don't want to assume or
on the low gay guy. I get it.
Yeah, thanks. No, I was.
You branded it out.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the character of Barney, not Neil Patrick Harris, the actor. No, it's just like this womanizer, but really deep down wants to be loved. Like is seeking real, true companionship.
Yeah, and I gave you that in Ted, and then you were like, no, that's not me at all.
I never said that. All I said was explain.
Yeah,
explain yourself.
You
just said, hey, yo, you're Ted Mosby, and then moved on. I was like, what? In what aspect?
I'm not a problem reader. I can't go into details about stuff.
Is that why you're such a big Drake stan? Is this narrative of like searching for love?
I just like rappers who can rap about things that I relate to. I can only take so much like gun bar shoot 'em up rap. I don't live that life. That's not my experience. So while I can appreciate it for like a few songs, it's not really me. I feel like with Drake and J. Cole specifically, they talk about things that I resonate with. I think the lyricism, the rhyme schemes, the double entendres, all of that is like super impressive to me. And then anybody who's making pop culture references in a song is always going to find me. That's like the way to my heart in comedy, the way to get me involved in cinema and in music. If you're making references to fucking Voltron and How I Met Your Mother and Saved by the Bell, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I get these references. So.
Yeah, that's why I used to like Childish Gambino a lot because he was like
Gambino.
A nerdy rapper just talking about like I bought Friends like TBS. Like, I know that reference. Like,
yeah, and like the ego in me is just like, oh yeah, he's catering to something that I'm familiar with.
For sure.
I think Drake does that. And then also the other end of it is like, yo, he do be rapping about getting bitches. And most recently with this album, they're like, oh, Drake makes music for dudes who get bitches. And I feel like
Yeah.
As a dude who gets bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Women like Drake.
Yeah.
I like
How do you feel
too.
about a woman that likes Future?
Interesting.
Honestly, I don't know enough about Future to have an opinion.
Okay.
Somebody was like, "Oh, Future is the number 4 on the Mount Rushmore of rap after Kendrick, Drake, and Cole." And I wouldn't refute that, but if you asked me to name 2 Future songs, I couldn't do it for you right now.
Yeah.
I don't know enough.
Him and
I don't like his voice.
Yeah, it's him and like Playboy Carti. I'm like, how is this guy like the guy? I've only heard like 1 or 2.
But no, he's huge.
He's
People
big in
know.
his area. In his area, he's really huge.
In Atlanta, just in general, he's a huge rapper. And he made a whole album with Drake, What a Time to Be Alive. And I don't know any of the songs on there. Like maybe like Digital Dad. I don't know.
Jumpman.
Yeah. So like if I heard the songs, I would listen to it. The only song that I listen to from What a Time to Be Alive is 30 for 30, and Future is not on that.
Yeah.
That's a great song too.
Full introspective Drake mode, and it's exactly the type of the rapping that I like from Drake.
I just listened to 3030 by Kendrick and SZA, but that's none of my business.
What is it?
What is 30 for 30? Sorry. When I think 30 for 30, I think of those songs and the ESPN documentaries.
Sure.
Is that where that comes from, or is that like
they're referencing their own like sports documentary in rap from that? So it's their 30 for 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
What we got into this because you were saying no one could put you on. Like you don't like being put on stuff. I like being put on the stuff because then I feel like, especially if you have like, if I could trust your opinion. Like Rudy talked about Breaking Bad like a month ago on this podcast, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch it, and I watched it, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
So if I could trust, like, I'll give you one shot. If Eminem, if I like what you put me onto, I'll listen to it again. Like that's what me and Gus are friends. Gus put me onto Crashing. I don't know if you ever watched Crashing.
No.
Oh, it's a comedy thing. It's pretty good.
Okay.
You should check it out.
So I actually trust everybody's opinion. I'm super trusting. I think that there's so much good just media out there in general, but I trust my opinion so much more. So if I come across a movie trailer or a picture or something and I look at it and it captivates me, then I'm going to watch it. If I pass by it and then 6 months from now someone's like, yo, this is the greatest thing ever, you have to watch it. And I'm like, I didn't think so when I saw it. You don't know me as well as I know me. I don't give a fuck. And I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
I have no interest in it.
Yeah, I'm not good at curating. Like I've tried to put like cousins and friends onto weird shit I like, and they're like, "Why you made me watch this stupid ass?"
Because it's good for you, but it's not necessarily there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no better feeling than that though. There's no better
Nah.
feeling when you like something and you like someone. And you're like, oh, you're gonna like this.
Yeah,
You
but
like
like I just you and that person aren't the same. So like literally, I tried to put my mom onto like Honora. Have you seen that movie?
No.
It's a movie about like a stripper in New York. I'm like, Mom, you gotta watch this shit. And it's like, Mom's like, why are you watching all these titties, Chris? I'm
But
like,
your mom's not enjoying it because she's thinking about you. If your dad would put her on, she probably
Or if she just
enjoyed it.
discovered it on her own.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm trying to say. On the other side of things, I love putting people onto shit. That's my love language.
yeah.
So for
There's
me,
no better feeling.
when I get into the best time in my life is a new, fresh relationship where I'm putting them on to everything that I love. And I keep on rinsing and repeating the same fucking cycle. I will get with a girl. She'll somehow convince me that I can't be with any other girls. So I'll be in a monogamous relationship.
All right.
Well, I have a honeymoon phase where I'm like, all right, I don't need any other bitches. I'm good with her. And I'm like, what? You've never seen a Goofy movie? Putting you on. What? You've never watched Cobra Kai? Putting you on. What? You've never seen Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, everything. Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, everything. Walk to Remember, Notebook, everything. Back to the Future, everything. I put her on to everything that I know about Star Wars, and now she's caught up. She knows everything that I know, and then now I'm bored. I've shown her everything. Now I'm ready to get bitches again.
Do they not put you on to stuff?
I don't want to be put on. I
Oh
don't
my
like
God,
being put on.
That's one-sided,
pride.
Kevin.
Well, the type of girls that I always seem to attract don't know anything about pop culture
About
references.
nothing?
No, I
so
think
they can't. No, I promise you, I'm not selling these women short. They're like, oh, I watch reality TV.
Oh.
And then so sometimes they'll try to show me. And sometimes I do get interested in like, oh, okay, 90 Day Fiance or Love is Blind or Love on the Spectrum. I watch these things with
I
them.
watched every single Love is Blind. I watched even Love is Blind Argentina, Love is Blind Brazil.
You're a homosexual.
Maybe.
But also I think that's fire because it gives you an opportunity to relate to girls when they come over.
Yeah.
And relatability on stage and off stage is so
I was
nice.
thinking about like, yo, if I was this, what kind of game would I kick to her?
Oh, no, I'm never putting myself in a fucking reality show. But anyway, I say all that to wrap up to say, like, once I get to the point where I've put her on to everything that I have been, that I know about, I'm no longer interested in being monogamous anymore because I feel like a part of me being in a relationship is being a teacher. and I have nothing left to teach you. So now I'm interested in like redoing the cycle again. So coincidentally, at that time, it always starts to like insecurities start popping up on their end. They're like, "Oh, who are these girls who are DMing you?" And I'm like, "Yo, I don't need this. I'm way too social media popping. I'm too famous. I'm doing too well in life. Fuck you." And then I'll break up with them.
Why do you feel like you had to end this podcast on you being the bad guy?
This is just how my life right now. I don't know. I'll figure it out maybe when I'm 35.
No, man, you're a lover guy.
Like, Kevin, you need to humble yourself.
Nah,
you can't get all these bitches, man. Watch me, bitch.
They watch this and they're like, "Oh, I hate that guy. I fucking hate that guy."
One of the best skills about being a teacher is loving to learn. You don't feel like you have that excitement of loving to learn?
What do you mean, love and learn or loving to learn?
Loving to learn. You have to have that enjoyment of.
I love learning. I want to learn on my own time and my own passions. I don't want anybody else. As soon as you're trying to teach me something in your time, I'm already tuned out. That's why I didn't do well in school. That's why I don't do well when people try to teach me things. I'm not interested. I have to watch and consume it my way and my own time, and then I'll absorb it all.
So you can teach ladies, but they can't teach you, Kevin Deane?
Yeah, no, I would love to meet the right girl who's like, yes, I really want to take the time to try to teach him, but it hasn't happened for me.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
I'm the oldest of dogs.
All right, for all the dogs. Shout out
for all the dogs.
All right, should we wrap it up there? Anything else you want to talk about?
I like one more thing, but you could just plug.
No, you're not going.
I don't remember.
All right, bet.
Well, I thought this was going to be a podcast about Power Rangers. I did not get to get my shit off at all. I'm very upset.
What? Pop off.
I would love to talk to you guys about the whole Zordon era and how Zeo really shut down Turbo and Turbo set up Space to be the best series of all time. But we'll talk about it on another podcast. I appreciate y'all.
Damn.
We'll be back. You catch Kevin on IG, Mr. Pro 7 Kevin. You could watch him if you're out on a Wednesday.
Yeah, on a Tuesday, come out to Onico Gastro Lounge every single Tuesday at 9 p.m. Wednesdays, Dirty Bingo. Thursdays is Days for Bitches. Fridays and Saturdays, I'm booked and busy. Follow my Instagram for more future updates.
What do you think? What do you think the perfect girl is like?
My perfect girl is a big, curly, fro head.
Outside of physical.
Literally like Chris's hair.
Outside of physical.
Big
titties. Me gay, but you just call Chris your perfect girl.
No.
Teach their own, Kevin Deane.
I just wanted to say your locks are luxurious. You're a very attractive young man.
Thank you.
Big curly hair, big huge tits, stunning personality. And my opinion of a great personality is a woman who's kind, polite, and peaceful. If you're attractive with big titties and you're kind, polite, and peaceful, I will love you to the end of time. Bonus points if you know about pop culture. Even more bonus points if you can put me onto things and I can put you onto things.
What if they've watched everything you've watched? And then why can't you have a discussion about what you've watched?
Oh, I love that too. I've been my last relationship. We were both comics. We both loved a lot of the same shit. We watched a lot of the same movies and TV, and we would debate and have conversations all the time. I think that's really great.
You're saying your best guy friends are like guys you like grew up with, right? Like they're guys you've known your entire life.
Yeah, I think my closest friends, the newest friend, we've been friends for over 15 years. So, I mean, I've had friends, my best friends I've known since 3rd and 4th grade.
What are mutual interests? Like when you like meet someone new, what are mutual interests that you're like, all right, I could be cool with this person because we both bond over this. What is it usually?
I think most of the times now it's really superficial. They're like, oh, he wears Jordans. He's dressed nice. He seems confident. So they're friends with me and the idea of like, oh, I recognize him from social media or he's outside. He gets bitches. But on like my most core friendships, we have a lot of the same nerdy interests. My closest two best friends are gamers like I am. They play Mortal Kombat at a high level, and I play Mortal Kombat at a high level. They play Dragon Ball Z games. I'm a huge gamer. And they're into like the same movies. We were Pokemon fanatics in middle school and high school. We were Star Wars fans. We just got together on the same level of nerd shit.
So Ted Mosby was just in love with Robin the whole time. Is there a Robin that like from your past you're like, oh, I've known this person my entire life. She might have kids now, but you could double back, you know.
No, they used to call me the spin the block captain back in the day. There's never been an ex that I've broken up with, let years go by that I haven't been able to pull back up on and run it back one more time.
But is there anyone that like you think about that's like
no?
Like I was
to answer your question, no.
I was thinking about this girl the other day that like we went on like a group date with, like it was just a group date, and she was just there, and she was like just laughing all the time. And every single girl thought she was annoying, but I'm like, this girl is amazing.
She's the one for you. Why didn't you pursue it?
Because she was my friend's coworker, and he's like, oh, it's gonna be weird. I'm like, all right.
Nah, I was talking to somebody recently. I've never had a girl that got away. I've had heartbreaks twice in my life. When I was like fresh out of high school, one of my exes moved to New Jersey. She ended up like getting with another guy, and she's married and has a kid with him now. Super, super over that. And then the next girl that I dated was just like cheating on me profusely. She was fucking around.
Yeah, she sounds amazing.
Yeah, but now in hindsight, looking back at it, I was also fucking up a lot. I was also super cheating and super toxic. So like, and we actually ended up chilling like last year or some shit and like rekindled. So it was like, there's very few times that I've ever had a girl that I was like, oh damn, I'm not dealing with that anymore.
Yeah, when you talk about a relationship, you always forget they're like, oh, never mind. Let me not put myself in the hole. All right, guys, it's been the 504.
All right.
Mr. 407 himself, Kevin.
Hey, I really appreciated talking to you, man.
I appreciate you for having us.
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks.
it.
No problem. You were great too, Darwin.
Appreciate you, man.